Your records are now open, waiting for opening remarks. So they're saying, she's special, this child. We have been watching her for a while now. There are things that she is learning that are going to put her on a path to freedom. She's going to experience freedom like she's never experienced before. And they're showing me like a picture of you with your arms like spread wide out and uh, kind of basking in the sunlight. That's the kind of feeling I'm getting. And the feeling with that picture is that before you can get to that place, you have gone through um, feeling insecure or unsure of yourself many times while growing up. And this has made you feel like there were like times when you felt like probably you were not capable enough or good enough to be able to do all of those things that others you thought were much superior to you were doing. It almost felt like, I mean, it feels like you've always put yourself, down or kind of dimmed your light in spite of that little voice in your head telling you that you're capable of so much more. There's been a lot of self-doubt that has not allowed you to be yourself more freely. However, they want you to know that right now, that is all changing. They keep saying, we see you now. It's almost like there has been quite a lot of change or self-work that you have been doing, which is allowing you to kind of break through your own shell and come out and step out and be seen. Um, so they keep saying, we see you now. I don't know if this means something to you. Is there anything else record keepers and guides in the opening remarks? They want you to also know that you are very loved and you're always taken care of. In spite of what you may think, rather, I think, or it feels like in spite of what you think, that's what they're saying. So it makes me feel that there have been times when you probably lost faith in yourself or faith in the universe, or you've had your doubts. So they're saying, in spite of all of that, they've always been around you and they have been taking care of you even then. And the nudges that they have given you into this direction, now you actually feel them more prominently than you did before. Record keepers and guides. What may Cora Joan Edwards know about her volunteering here on Earth? Is she a volunteer here on Earth? So I'm getting like a very mixed message here. It's like you have volunteered to be on Earth, but you have not been here recently. Like you've been here for a while now.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of like the new wave of volunteers that are coming in, and those batches of star seeds and light workers. You've been here longer than they have. That's the feeling. So it's like you did volunteer, but not like right now during the shift and things of that sort. You've
Yeah.
been here on Earth for a while trying to get some things going. Like it's like you've had many incarnations before on Earth, which kind of set certain things in motion. So you've been part of that team or that group of volunteers back then. So it's like it's been coming for a while now. It's not something which is just one generation or two generations ago. The God keepers and guides. What may Cora Joan Edwards know about her volunteering and assisting us? Where did she come from? Where's the soul go? I keep seeing the color blue, um, the light signature blue in space, and it's not like a cloud. It's more like a swirl of light. Like it's just in in one particular shape. I can't explain. It's like a boomerang shaped. Um, I'm seeing like a lot of space right now, and the color, it's a electric blue, and that color is like right in front of me, and there's like a lot of stars like way back in the background. Like I can see stars, but this light is like very prominent. Um, it's like when you see one of these space photos, and there's this gaseous mass, like, and it's like electric blue, um, and there behind that there are stars. So I don't see you being part of this galaxy. I think, where does she come from? Is there some other galaxy? Because I keep seeing Milky Way on this, on one side, and then there is this blue. I think it's another galaxy because I can see our solar system like way below. So they're taking me back to your origin. Like it's not even like the one that you're asking about on I mean, like in this solar system. It almost feels to me that you go way beyond it. Like you're coming from another um, light signature, which is not part of our galaxy. Because I keep seeing the Milky Way at the bottom of my vision, and then this one is towards the far right. Keep hearing 12th Brotherhood. I don't know if that makes sense to you. 12th Brotherhood. Anything else? But so I'm seeing that, whoa, you were like really tall. So I'm seeing like these hooded figures, right? In like, I don't know, some sort of a white single robe. Like I can't make out how your physical body looks like because it's like covering all of you. And there are like 12 of you, like the 12, it's, I think the face is bluish gray in color, but it's like you're part of a group of beings that kind of moderate the star systems, like not just the star systems but galaxies. Like you decide the balance of it, like the 12 of you together kind of decide who goes where, does what should happen. Like you're part of another bigger team, but you are responsible for those few galaxies that you're around, because I don't see you coming from a particular planet or a star. It's more like these energy beings have their own, I don't know if it's a spaceship or if it's like a construct of something, which is very it doesn't feel solid. It doesn't
Okay.
feel like it's made of metal or carbon or anything. I don't know if it is something that they manifest through uh, materializing with thought kind of a process, but it doesn't feel real. But they're still on something. But at the same time, they're not on anything. It feels that way. Um, and I keep seeing these extremely tall beings in white cloaks. Like, it's like a robe that just comes all the way down. It looks like one of those cult robes, but it's very stiff. It's not flowy or anything. It's very A-line and it's very stiff. And they're like these tall beings. All I can see is their blue gray faces and their fingers, which are blue and gray as well. So I don't know what beings they are. Um, they're saying, yes, we are the Brotherhood of the 12. We are here to protect the nations far and wide. We're here to ensure that peace reigns amongst us and those beyond the veil. it almost feels to me like if we are the ones with the veil, they're the ones beyond the veil. And for them, we are the ones beyond the veil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like we are hiding behind the curtain and they are protecting us in some way. Is there anything else that you would like Cora Joan Edwards to know? So they are asking you to believe in yourself a whole lot more, to feel more connected to the truths that are being revealed to you, and to be able to connect with those energies that you know deep down you have access to. I think some part of your ego mind keeps interfering whenever you try and connect with them. Makes it seem too fantastical, like it's just um, it. You keep telling yourself, "How can it be that I'm part of that group?" It sounds too fantastic for you to be part of it. So you keep doubting yourself and see and checking it if it is part of your ego, or you're imagining these things and they're not real. That's the kind of self-doubt that's coming through. And they're saying just to like remove all of that, because this is true, whatever is coming through. um, the Brotherhood of the 12. Is there anything you would like Cora Joan Edwards to know? They keep saying we want her to believe in herself more. Um, I think you're receiving information from them. There is this knowingness of what is happening across the universe. It's this feeling of just knowing. It's not like you're picking it up because you're reading something someone wrote, or you're watching something on YouTube or things like that. It's just you wake up one morning and you just have this knowing of, okay, I think this is what's happening in the universe, you know. And this knowing is coming from them. They're giving you these downloads. So they want you to trust in it, because there's a lot more that's going to come. It's like you're part of them on the other side, and you're the one who's going to help a lot of people unveil themselves. Like it's so the veil is very important, because I keep seeing the veil um, in front of you as well, and with these beings. Um, they're definitely from a light. I don't know what color light. It could be that electric blue that I've seen, but they are light beings, and they are manifesting themselves for me to understand more about what they're showing me. Like they're just part of a 12, and they keep calling themselves a brotherhood. So either it is a way that you would understand, or something that I will be able to put across. But actually, they have they're not like anywhere. They're not standing on anything. I don't see them. They're just there, like hovering in space. Uh,
Consciousness.
yes, it feels like that. You belong to many soul groups. Um, so when I'm asking if you belong to the Lyrans, I'm getting yes. When I'm asking if you belong to the Palladians, I'm getting a no. Does she belong to the Syrians? Does she belong to Sirius B? Sirius C? Okay. Did you know that there was another planet, a star called Sirius C?
Hmm.
Okay. So
Was destroyed.
most likely you belong to C than you belong to B, because when I'm asking A, B, I'm getting a no. But Lyrans, you were part of the Lyrans, not the Palladians. Sirius C, Andromeda. Did she belong to Andromeda? Cora Joan Edwards, the God Cosmic. I'm getting a no for Andromeda. But however, I get this feeling that you could have collaborated with them. You didn't belong to them, but when you were part of Sirius C, because I see again blue, something about blue being very important to you. I don't know if it's your favorite color or if it is
Yeah.
um, if it is something that draws you in like that color. But when you were one of the blue beings, you were interacting with Andromedans who seem brown for some reason, like not brown brown, but like this they're very murky. I don't know. I don't know how Andromedans look, but that's the feeling I'm getting. Like they're very uh, uh, the earth colors. You know, they have
Ah,
earth colors. Um, and Syrians were mostly blue beings, is what I'm getting. So blues
yeah.
and grays. So it's just the when you were one of the blue being, because I'm seeing you like completely bald, like I'm seeing you from behind though, um, and I see like there's this one ethereal shine, like one the skin looks like a blue crystal giving off reflection. So it's just it's a very um, it's like you know those aquamarine blues. That's the kind
Mm.
of a blue. Um, and I'm seeing you interacting with this being, which is very, it's more crude than your, I mean, in physical appearance than you are. You seem to be very like, very svelte and very small and I don't know, very structured, but they seem to have like a bigger bodies and bigger, I can't even describe the kind of things that I'm seeing. It's just, it feels like, you know, the animated series called Crude?
No. Sorry.
Okay. Um, you know, like these, if I have to put it really bluntly, like how cavemen looked, you know, with
Okay, yeah.
droopy, with like, you know, with a club in their hand and it's like
Okay.
dragging down. I don't know. It's that's the kind of feeling I get, but I don't think that's the way they look. It's that energy about them, which is very like, the physical beings, like they go and clean up stuff and pick up scrap and like uh, pull this into the out of the solar system, like the cleanup crew. That's the kind of feeling I get. So they're the ones who go and um, you know do the physical work, like they do the grunt work,
Mm.
whereas the being that you are is more of that intellectual kind of a person who's making plans and creating these strategies and um, more of the thinker than the doer. But the Andromedans are the doers rather than the thinkers. You know, not like they're dumb or anything. It's just they seem to be more worker oriented species, work oriented species. I don't know about Andromedans, so whatever I'm getting, I'm just telling you. Um, but so in that capacity, you could have interacted with them to help with the cleanup. They're saying your first incarnation was on the moon. It looks like our moon, but it's not from Earth. You could, I don't know if Neptune has moons, but you could be one of the moons, beings on the moon of Neptune. Uh, I'm checking like all the planets and I'm getting like a no, no, no. But when I'm saying Neptune, I'm getting a yes. So it could
Okay.
be the moon of Neptune that you were incarnated on. But you lived underground. Like it's almost like it wasn't habitable to be on the surface of the moon. Not like y'all couldn't step out, but it was, I see winds, like I see great winds on the surface. So it was very difficult to venture out for too long in those winds. So unless it was like really necessary, I don't see you venturing out onto the surface. But for some reason, you seem almost human in incarnation, um, in the sense that you do have two limbs and two legs, and it's like you've got two hands and two legs, very human looking body, but you're all wrapped up. Like I'm seeing you coming out of a shelter, like there's like this dome type of a gate, or something where you're coming out of, to venture out, and you're wrapped up in a lot of uh, garments of, I don't know what they are, but you're wrapped up, um, and you've gone out looking for someone. I don't know if someone got lost, and if you've gone to find them and bring them back, and it's very windy. So you're wrapped up because of the winds. Um, because of that, I'm not able to see much, and I think you've got like some breathing apparatus. It's a very like, it makes me feel almost like it is some sort of a humanoid being which lived underground because it was not habitable to be
Hmm.
staying outside. And they have these breathing equipment. So they're like advanced beings, but at the same time, they're not as advanced in terms of like, they're just surviving. They're not thriving. They're just surviving that environment. So, and
Hmm.
most of them live underground. That's the feeling I'm getting. That was like one of your very first physical incarnations um, in the galaxy. It feels like you went there, or you incarnated there, um, to help. Like you went there to help people leave. You were an evacuation, like you had created some sort of an evacuation protocol, either by killing the the humanoid bodies, and like exiting the spirits out of the bodies, souls out of the bodies, or it feels like you went there to prepare some sort of a high high end tech, advanced some advanced high end tech, which would transport them off planet, off that moon. Because I see you as a very tall male humanoid. It, again, like I'm not able to see the face because there is some breathing apparatus. I think the even the air is not really. You came in as part of a rescue team, but you stayed because you experienced love for the first time. Like
Oh.
there is this feeling of experiencing emotions which felt so powerful that you decided to stay on longer. And that person that you went searching for, they're not even related to you in any way. They're not your partner or lover or anything of that sort. They're part of a family that you were attached to, who you promised you would rescue. And one of their members had gone missing. So you decided to go and search for them because it's hostile territory out there. And I also see that I don't know, they look like some creatures, like predators, sort of creatures. Um, you know, so you don't go out unless the winds are not a bit slow. And at that point, it was. I mean, I can still see like it's blowing. This sand and dust, but it wasn't as bad as it could possibly get at
Hmm.
times. So you ventured out to find someone. I only keep seeing you venturing out. I don't go beyond that. Like, I don't see if you found the person. I don't think you found the person, but I'm not able to see beyond that. But I'm able to go backward a little bit, and I'm seeing like these humanoid people again, um, in like bunkers, and those metallic like bunkers where they're all dressed the same. They're wearing the same kind of clothes. It's not like a thriving environment. It is almost like they're just surviving.
Hmm.
So probably I get this feeling at one point before you incarnated, that was a habitable place, and now it's not any longer.
Okay. Okay.
So you've come on a mission to like get them out, but you've experienced so much that you wanted to see how it would pan out, and you stayed, and then you went out. That's all I know. So you went out, but I don't think you returned. Do you still feel like you're responsible for everybody at home, or the people you love? Like you feel like you need to bail them out or kind of be
A
there?
little, yeah.
Like even
But
if it is difficult for you, you kind of push yourself to make sure that you don't, like they know that you're always there,
hmm,
whether it's your friends or your family. Um, they're saying it's coming from that particular lifetime where um, you couldn't rescue that person because you couldn't rescue you,
ah,
and it's this need of like rescuing people, like you need to be there for whatever trouble. And even in this lifetime, if you've got that streak in you where um, you want to do your best to rescue people, because your first response is to like jump in.
yeah.
So, and I think over the years it kind of backfired as well. That's what I'm getting. Record keepers and guides, what may Cora Joan Edwards know about her first physical incarnation on Earth? When was this? Immediately I'm getting 5000 BC. I don't know why. Um, what happened during 5000 BC? They're saying the Lyrans came in. I don't know if that makes sense. 5000 BC, the Lyrans came in. Did they come here to? What did they come here to do, record keepers and guides? What did the Lyrans come here to do in 5000 BC? They're saying to me they've come here to populate the earth. So I don't, again, I don't, there's no way of checking this information, is there? But it feels to me like they've come here to, uh, this earth was very, very habitable back then. Like I'm seeing like a lot of green plants and trees, and like huge, huge plants and trees. And I see these, it almost feels to me like they've got leopard faces or lion faces, a little bit. Not like they look like a lion or look like a leopard. It's just this part of the face seems very defined, like forward a little bit. So in that way, it feels to me like they look like cats or
Hmm.
lions. You apparently came along with them to find a rare species of some bird. I don't know what bird it is that you were looking for. Some rare species of some bird you came looking down. So that was like the first time you came to Earth in a physical incarnation, um, to look for a rare species of a bird. 5,000 years ago, was Cora Joan Edwards part of a civilization? Was it Lemuria? Was it Atlantis? Was it any other civilization that I don't know of? Were there other civilizations apart from Lemuria and Atlantis? Because I'm getting a yes for Atlantis.
Yes, for Atlantis.
Yeah, that you were part of Atlantis
Ah, right,
in one
okay.
of your incarnations. It's, I don't think it's the first ever, but the first ever when you came after you were a Lyran, like you were in Lyra, uh, and you came from there. But it almost feels to me like you were part of a research team,
Yeah,
and
that
that you
makes
were
sense.
doing some sort of a zoological expedition or something of that sort. And you
Yeah.
came looking for that bird. I don't know what is so special about that bird. I'm not getting too much information. Um, was she part of Atlantis? I'm getting a big yes for Atlantis. Was she
Okay.
part of Lemuria? And I'm getting a no for Lemuria. Is there any other civilization? I'm getting there's another civilization apart from Lemuria and Atlantis that you were part of.
Was it, did it have like, was it anything to do with Easter Island? Because I had a flash of Easter Island when anything, was it around that
Was she
time?
part of Easter Island? I don't think it's one of your earlier incarnations. So,
No.
was she ever related to Easter Island in any way? Like, did she ever incarnate in Easter Island? So you did have an incarnation there, but it's not one of your first ones, though.
Okay.
And is it the one that has those tall heads?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm seeing those heads there,
Yeah, I
and
saw those too.
something to do with the heads. You were there when those heads were there, but the heads were already underground. I mean, as in like,
Ah.
I see you like touching those heads. I don't know if you saw it like that, like when they were buried, or you saw them full. Um, and I'm like seeing you walking around touching the heads, like you were a woman in that incarnation. It's a very recent one, like I mean, probably a couple of 100 years or 100 years ago,
Ah,
something like
okay.
that. Um, that Easter Island trip that you had gone in that lifetime was reminding you of something else. And at that point, you had this feeling like you belonged somewhere else when you saw those heads. Um,
Hmm.
is there another civilization during the time of Lemuria and Atlantis that
I believe there were others, but I don't know if they have names or where they are in the lineage
can
of that timeline. But
I don't know if there was an underwater city because it feels to me like an underwater city or civilization that had control over water. Like they could exist in water, but the water, they're not in water. Like when they're walking, it's like the water is moving away from them. Like it's like if two people are there, it's like it forms like a tunnel around them, but
hmm.
they're not in water, but
Yeah,
they're in water. You know what I mean? Like it's
yeah.
they've got like a insulation of air around them, which kind of separates the water from touching them. But I see that it was a civilization that thrived underwater. They didn't just
Okay.
survive; they thrived. It almost feels to me that they were connected with other underground civilizations, and like there were other underwater civilizations. And keepers of water is what I'm getting. It I don't know if your task was to program the water or look after the water, but keepers of the waters is what I'm getting. Look at keepers and guides. What may Koa John Edwards know about the higher self being the Elohim? Is it related to the light beings that were shown to us? So I'm getting that your higher self is part of the Elohim, but it's not connected to the Brotherhood of 12 like you feel. I mean, the Elohims exist in our galaxy. Um, so the Brotherhood of 12 is beyond that. The Elohims are energy beings that go from planet to planet, checking up on life and accumulating information and synthesizing it. It almost feels like you all are one big Google Drive, you know. So it's like um,
Okay.
you I think astral travel a lot when you're sleeping because I'm seeing that the energy of you keeps traveling around different realms and timelines and space, the space time continuums and um, just basically going about space and checking on every other planet and stars, systems, and things of that sort to
Hmm.
gather information about what is happening and if it is part of the grand scheme of things. So it's like um, you ensure that everything is going according to the plan. So if there is any anomaly anywhere in the galaxy, you kind of report it back. So
Okay.
I'm seeing like beings of white light, like there's no body as such, it's just a formless energy going like this through all of the, and it's not like it's going and staying in one place and then going from there to another place. It's like it's passing its energies through the star systems. So if this is the uh, Earth or Moon or whatever star, the the energy is like wide, it's like a pipe or something like, and it's like a
Hmm.
ball going through a pipe. It goes like that, like that. It just flows. It's not stopping. It's
Hmm.
like continuously flowing and picking up information and keeps. There's no particular direction to the flow. It just flows. Your higher self does that because I think the word Elohim is very loosely attached to the higher self being divine. So it's not like there are certain uh, beings of power. It feels like that is the original state of every soul on earth.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like they are powerful enough to be gods if they want to.
Hmm.
So the saying anybody who asks for the name of the soul would probably get Elohim in one way or the other.
Yeah.
But your higher self is constantly going about these planets and stuff and collecting information. I see that you may use your training to volunteer at these places and
Okay.
then choose certain candidates to kind of help them go into the root of the problem uh, to remove it completely.
Yeah.
So you'll find those who are willing to do anything to transform, and then you would work with them through hypnosis. I'm also through some psychic readings. I don't know if you do psychic readings or if you're psychic, um, but they're saying that you would help them through hypnosis and psychic readings. If have you ever been interested in accessing the records, because they're saying that you can also read the records if you can learn
Okay.
how to channel and use your psychic power. There's a lot of psychic powers that you have, which
Okay.
would allow you to do psychic readings. So, with that particular method, you will probably select a few of those people where you volunteer at and do these sessions on them. Either you would charge them some amount or do them for like swapping of services or something of
Hmm.
that sort. But in that way, you're able to kind of allow people to see more of themselves, like who they are,
Yeah. Yeah.
rather than allow. I mean, you can't forcibly wake people up, but you
Yeah.
can allow them to see more clearly who they are and
Yeah.
then give them that opportunity to choose if they want to awaken or not.